What's up, boys and girls? This is your boy Curtis Miso coming in hot with another video. Today I'm going to be walking you through a PSA submission receipt that we just got back today. We got 18 cards back from PSA. This was an 8-day order, and it's funny enough, an 8-day order takes about 3 or 4 months to be graded by PSA. So we sent these in early first or second week of March of this year, and they popped in July 6th, and we just received them today, July 12th. So that's about a 4-month process for an 8-day order. We were told the turnaround time was about 3 months, so close enough to that. Obviously, PSA takes a very long time to get your cards back to you. We all know that by now. There's a doubling in prices sometime in the past. It was kind of right before we submitted our cards. So in the past 4 months or so, 8-day orders went from $50 a card to $95 a card. So tough to justify. And that's really for cards valued up to $999. Those are the ones that you're going to be sending via 8-day. So these are some potentially bigger cards out of 10, and I'm going to walk you through the various cards that we got back from PSA, the values of those cards, maybe why we think they graded the way they did, and also how the values have changed, as they have changed significantly on these cards over the past, since we submitted them, actually. So over the last 4 months, we all know prices have plummeted, and that's no different for these cards. And in the background here, we've got some of my favorite autos in my PC for you to look at. So now I'll walk you through the cards in the submission. First, Mike on the mic had a couple baseball cards. He opened some vintage wax. Our local card shop here found some old baseball cards, and someone in the area found some old baseball cards in their garage, sold them all to our local card shop. And he had some old 1989 Bowman he's selling those boxes, and Mike on the mic ripped one of those boxes, lucky enough to pull a couple of these KGJs. Unfortunately, both of them came back as 8s. They looked pretty darn clean. Of course, it is very difficult. There's a super high pop on these cards, and they're old. It's very difficult to get good grades on these. We thought they were going to 9. They came back as 8s, not exactly sure why. I didn't inspect these myself, as they came from Mike on the mic, but they did look relatively clean before we submitted them. The value on these is $20, so you could trade this for a couple of subs at Quiznos, maybe a couple $5 footlongs. So these are not gonna have a ton of value. Again, there's a huge pop on these. This is junk wax. And so they're just not worth much at 9 or 8s or below. The price really skyrockets if you get these at a 10, because there are lower pop on these, and PSA keeps the pop down. So these are going for $350 at a 10. Interestingly, when we submitted these, they're going for $800 at a 10. So that's a 56% decrease in a legendary baseball player. Everyone loves this guy, especially out here in Seattle. So maybe not a bad time to pick up some Griffeys. So not too happy about those 8s. Those aren't gonna be worth anything. And then we go to the cards that I submitted. First, huge disappointment. This Michael Jordan Triple Threats Skybox. I pulled this out of my childhood collection. This is one of the few Jordans I had that looked to be in really good condition from my childhood, and so I submitted it hoping for at least a 9, because the card is very clean. And this is the first time I've gotten something like this back from PSA. They said it's didn't meet the minimum size requirement. So I guess, and this was pack pulled by myself, so apparently Skybox went ahead and miscut the card. I'm not sure what the issue is. It looks good to me. Might try to resubmit, might try to go to BGS, because I don't know what's going on. Obviously, I didn't cut it. I pulled it out of a pack. So, I don't know. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. These were going for $1,000 out of 10 at one point, and $300 out of 9. Probably a lot less now, but I'd like to have some of my PC Jordan cards, or my childhood Jordan cards graded, and at least in my PC. Unfortunately, that one, they wouldn't even slab it because of that issue. Going from lowest to highest in terms of value, here we have a Ja Morant Purple Disco. Pulled this out of Retail Hoops Premium 2019. I was ripping a lot of retail, did some nice financial recap of that stuff. Obviously, the numbers have changed a lot as card values have dropped. This came back at a 9. I was pretty disappointed with this. I really thought this had a good shot at a 10. Pretty clean card. I write notes for all my cards so I can kind of figure out why the grade might come back, what it did. My note here is minor surface issues on the front. You're not gonna be able to see it here, but I think there were some very minor issues. I thought it had a good chance at a 10. Well centered. Unfortunately, came back at 9, and prices on Hoops Premium have really, really fallen off a cliff. So this card is valued at $85 at a 9. Absolute steal. I think this is just an awesome picture of him. The pop really isn't that high on these things. Certainly a lot lower than a set like Prism. Not as popular, but regardless, price has fallen significantly. This was when I submitted this 4 months ago. These were going for 400 out of 10. This is now going for 175 out of 10. So another 56% decrease, similar to the Griffey on that. Yikes. That's not even worth 175. Of course, that is a 9, which is worth 85. Then here's a Justin Herbert pulled out of Optic. 9. Not again, this was a brutal submission for me. Personally, Gibby did a little bit better. This is well centered. What are my notes here? Justin Herbert. Print line on the back. So I really thought this one had a shot at a 10. The front had a really clean surface, centered. Almost all these cards have print lines on the back. So you're not gonna be able to see it with the lighting here, but those print roller lines. So again, had a shot at a 10. Unfortunately, got the 9. And so these are going for 115. They were going for at a 10, 450 when I submitted. Now they're going for 300. So that's a 33% decrease in the value of this card. But at a 9, they're going for at 115. And I will be selling all of these 9s either on eBay or local card store. So if you're interested in these cards, hit me up. We can get around eBay fees and other things. So hit us up on Instagram or in the comment. Instagram at Pack Addicts North NW, or in the comments if you're interested in buying any of these cards. Another card I pulled out of Optic Retail. Didn't open a lot of retail, but when I did, I hit fire open. I got this and a Tua Pink out of one box. This is the Justin Herbert Rated Rookie Pink Optic Preview. Actually, this is out of Donruss. So Donruss Retail. They had some Optic Preview cards in that set, which is pretty cool. And this is a pink parallel of Justin Herbert. Pretty cool card. Unfortunately, came back a 9 again. So what's the issue with this one? Again, really clean surface, centered, looks like a 10. Only issue, there's some kind of, I had a print line on the back, and they're just being brutal with me. These had a really, I thought at least a 50-50 shot of coming back at 10. Unfortunately, it's the 9. Out of 9, these are going for about $200. This was a $660 card out of 10. Hasn't dropped as much as some of the others. They're going for about $500 out of 10 now. That's about a 24% decrease in value on that. Some of these cards holding their value better than others over the past 4 months. Here we have, and obviously Herbert's one of the favorite rookies that people are following, so he's held up better than some others. Justin Jefferson pulled this out of Optic Hobby. Teal, or Aqua, numbered 299. Nice card. Thought this had a decent shot at a 10. I remember this had some minor surface issues, so on the front, so a little bit lower shot of a 10 than some of those ones that only had issues on the back. You're not going to be able to, maybe you can pick it up there. I'm not sure if that was it or not. But unfortunately got the 9 on this. These are going for 200 at a 9. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that. Here is a Kyler Murray Optic Hollow. Pulled this out of a retail box, lucky enough. Super lucky pull a couple years ago in 2019 set. Unfortunately came back at 9, wasn't too shocked. The centering's a little bit off. It's thick on the bottom and the right. Nice card nonetheless. And so these are going for Kyler Murray, 250 at a 9, 800 at a 10. Interestingly, this has held its value at a 10, or at a 10 it would have. It's still going for 800 out of 10. So no depreciation in the Kyler shares, interestingly enough. And then we have the single 10. So really, really unsuccessful submission. Really, really brutal. I mean, the single 10 was a John Morant. This is a nice one to come back out of 10. The silver out of Hoops Premium. Pulled this out of Hoops Premium Retail. Ripped a ton of that stuff. Got real hot with Ja. Was expecting, I thought this had a solid shot at a 10. These are tough to grade because of the hollows are always tough to grade because they're super clean and shiny around the edges, and it's just pristine. It wasn't perfect. What did I say? Minor print roller lines on the back. That's all I had. Can't see them too well. But again, I thought this had just as good a shot at 10 as some of these other ones that only had issues on the back, like that Herbert, or that Herbert. But it is what it is. This is only 10 I got out of submission. Not ideal, especially considering it cost $95 per card to grade, and some of these come back. This is worth less than what I paid to grade it. So that's pretty unfortunate. But that's the reality of it, especially with card prices dropping. But this is a cool card. This is going to be a PC. This isn't for sale. And even if it was, I think it's highly undervalued right now. The pop's only about 300, 350 on these out of 10. And it's selling for $200 on eBay. These were selling for $1,000 6-7 months ago. So just a brutal fall. I never thought it was worth $1,000. I thought it might be worth closer to 6-7. I still think it could easily be worth that. This is just an iconic picture of him. Look at that. He's in flight, throwing down the dunk. Not a super high pop, so I would actually be buying these. I'm not going to sell that. That's going right to my PC. Then we go to Gibby's cards. He's got some bigger ones, certainly bigger than what I did. He had a lot better luck with the grading this time around. So we'll start with this. Joe Burrow, PSA 9, going from smallest to largest. Just a Prism. We ripped a lot of Prism hobby. Not sure why, again, this got a 9 because this is his card. But these are going for about $110 at a 9. These were going for $800 4 months ago at a 10. They're now going for $400. So there's a 50% decrease on these at a 10. Looking at this, centering's a little off. It's thick to the right. Surface. It's just too hard to tell through a slab generally what the surface looks like, but in that bottom corner maybe a little white there, but pretty clean 9. Then we've got a Justin Jefferson silver hollow pulled out of Optic Hobby. Again, we ripped probably 6 or 7 boxes a piece over a case combined. Pretty good on the center in there. This is a $150 card out of 10. These are going for $600 at one point out of 10. And now they are going for $250. So that's a 60% decrease in the value of these bad boys. So Justin Jefferson shares falling like a rock, unlike some of the rookie QBs like Herbert that have really held up. Then we've got a pretty cool Origins on-card auto, Jordan Love to 25. Unfortunately came back a 9. These Origins cards are a little bit thicker, so it can be a tougher grade. Trying to see quickly what they may have gotten him on. Upper left corner, slightly soft. Surface. Trying to get the lighting better. Surface, just can't tell. But I think that's a pretty cool card. Jordan Love shares obviously going up with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he's going to be a Jeopardy host next year. Who knows? So this one is surprisingly, I think this is an insane value at a 9 going for. I had to back into it. There's not a lot of these cards. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze real quick. It didn't come. These are, this is valued maybe around $200 at a 9 for an on-card auto. I like his auto a lot too, to 25. So might be closer to 250, something like that. But that just seems cheap, especially if he actually is good, which a lot of people are betting that he might be coming up in the Packers system. We'll see. He wasn't amazing in college. Next, we have a Jalen Hurts orange prism out of Prism, PSA 9. This one is valued at Jalen Hurts $250. It is numbered to 249, so that's a $250 card out of 9. Looks like the bottom left, you got a little whiting there. Same with the bottom right, more so on the left. Top right's got a little whiting. The front looks really good though. Centering's decent. So, you know, hard to say. They really will get you generally on surface. Looks like there's a little nick there. But we've seen 10s with that kind of thing. So really the difference between a 9 and 10 often is difficult to tell, but the corners aren't perfect on that one. And here we're going into 10s, so still a lot of cards left, all 10s for Gibby. This is a Joe Burrow Prism, PSA 10, really clean. These are going for, again, like I said earlier, I think 400, right? Joe Burrow Prism 400, yep. So these were going for 8, they're going for 4 now. Nice card. And then we've got, this is an awesome one, Justin Herbert, red prism, pulled out a Mosaic Hobby. We ripped a ton of this stuff at the beginning of last year. We're excited to see Mosaic coming out again this year. Came back at a 10, pretty cool card. I think this one's probably undervalued because the pop's a little lower on these hobby parallels versus the retail ones, I believe. And so this one is valued at 300 out of 10, which seems a little light. This is a nice card. It's not numbered, but it is a hobby only parallel, the red Mosaic. So that's a cool one. Here's another awesome one. It was raining Jordan Love autos on Gibby last year. This is a Jordan Love, which is awesome, looking great now given he could be the starter. Jordan Love auto, Mystique, sticker auto, kind of not a great auto, not a great looking auto. He kind of rushed it, the heart got a little small. But this is numbered at 25. Pretty cool card at a 10. These are going for Jordan Love, Mystique Auto. This was out of Illusions. They're going for about $400 out of 10. Pretty cool acetate card. So nice one there. And that actually, they were really reusing pictures a lot last year, which is kind of lame. Funny enough, that is the same picture. I thought I recognized that. But I like this one better because of the on-card auto, and it's, to me, that's a nicer looking auto. I might actually try to buy that off Gibby if he's gonna sell it. But this one is a 10, so obviously gonna hold more value. And they're both numbered at 25, so really good hits for Gibby there. Another nice one for Gibby, Jordan Love Cracked Ice, blue Cracked Ice out of Prism Hobby. Came back a 9. Really, really sweet card. People love these Cracked Ice. It's numbered to 99. Interestingly, even at a 9, this is selling for close to $500, which I think is stunning. It's a lot more than some of the other parallels. People just love these Cracked Ice parallels. They always sell for more, even if the pop is bigger than comparative cards. So this is a really cool one. I'm jealous of Gibby for this. I think the only reason it 9'd is because of this little refractor line. It's tough to see. You can kind of see it there going across his body. It's not a super obvious refractor line, so that's probably why it still got a 9 instead of an 8. So it's not one that is, they can look a lot worse than that. So there you go. That's a sweet card there. One of the bigger cards in the submission. And the biggest card in the submission, real jealous of Gibby for this. He killed it in Mosaic. He got some God boxes. So this is a purple Mosaic Prism out of Mosaic Hobby, PSA 10, Tua Tagovailoa, numbered to 49. Just an awesome card. And really cool for him that this came back at a 10. This is the one of all Gibby's cards that I'm been threatening to move into my PC and just not give to him. So this one is valued at $700, which is pretty cool. And that value has not changed over the past 4 or 5 months since we submitted. So it has held its value. And I think that's largely, that's idiosyncratic versus there's market risk, and then there's idiosyncratic player risk. The market is down, but Tua the player is up because he didn't play great last year, But now there's the hope that they drafted a bunch of offensive weapons around him, brought back one of his old receivers to help him out in the first round. And the hope is now that he's going to really turn around and be closer to what Joey B and Herbert were last year. And so his cards have actually gone up, even with the market going down. Those two offset, and ultimately his cards have kind of stayed flat, while most other guys have gone down. Anyway, that is the submission. I think my favorite cards in submission are these two. I got my PSA 10 John Morant. Gibby got his PSA 10 Tua numbered to 49. Pretty awesome cards. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. We have a ton more cards coming back to us from PSA over the next several months, probably over 100 cards coming back. And so hopefully I will have a much better ratio with my 10s. Again, and if you're interested in purchasing any of these cards, we are going to PC some of them, but if you're interested in purchasing any of these cards, let us know. We're happy to sell them. In the meantime, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, throw us comments, like it. We're trying to grow the channel. And this is Curtis Miso signing off.